there's no like set subject. It's kind of just everything in one.
Yeah. And Sammy and I chat before we actually press record a lot. And I think we miss a lot of our gold conversations.
Yeah, the ones where we're like, oh man, I could have had that in the chat.
Yeah, yeah. And also, everybody, I have got a heated blanket. It is the best thing ever. So if you just see this bit pop up,
Because you're
I'm
cold.
letting you know in advance that's what's happening. I'm cold. It's winter. It's January. But yeah, I think a lot of our conversations actually without the record button are gold. I think they're hilarious.
Oh yeah, because I go a bit more what's the word? Definitely unfiltered.
Well, we still need to filter ourselves a little bit, Sammy.
Well, that's why I go a little bit more filtered, but still unfiltered, but to a point, because obviously we don't want to offend anyone.
Yes,
Um, and we don't want to get cancelled.
not yet.
No.
Not yet. Let us be I don't mind getting cancelled if it's
No.
helped a lot of people.
Yeah.
And it's just because somebody out there decides that they're too scared of us and too scared of this like amazing I don't know, phenomenon of business female business owners that are like, yeah, we're so cool, we're so cool. If they want to cancel us because we've done something, that's fine. Like they
Yeah.
did in the olden days. Like you got cancelled, like the suffragettes and stuff, everybody hated them because they were doing something good. So I don't mind being cancelled for that.
Yeah. No, that's fair enough. I like that.
Yeah, but I don't want to get cancelled because we said the wrong word and
Yeah.
a company decides to sue us.
Yeah, we don't want to do that.
We don't want to do that. Not at all. Anyway. So how are things going for you?
Um, yeah, they're going all right. I've got an
Yeah.
injury. But other than the injury in my shoulder, well, I don't even know what it is. I literally woke
Oh
up
no.
like it. But it's my non-dominant hand. So I kind of just go, it's okay, I can still use this one. Do you know
Oh,
what? I have so much respect now. Like, well, I had respect before, but like more respect for people that can only use one hand. You know what I mean? Like people that are
yeah,
disabled and they have like, I don't know, whatever it's wrong with
yeah,
them. And they can only do certain things with like one hand or one arm or,
yeah.
like things like that. I'm like, wow, do you know what? How hard it's been to get dressed. Putting my hair up this morning was an absolute nightmare. I'm like, trying to
Yeah.
get my hair up, it was so painful. I think I've like trapped a nerve or something, like when you
Horrible.
sleep funny. I think
Mm.
that's what it is. But do you know what? My clients have been amazing.
Have they?
Like, yeah, they've really been good. Like, yeah, yesterday was so funny. I was just like, can you give me your hand? And they're like,
Like
where do you
that.
need me? And I'm like, can I have you
Oh,
here? And then I'm like trying to be like so straight. And I think, do you know what? I would love to create like the world's best chair, like
yes.
because I look at all these chairs online and I'm like, are they any good? I tried a saddle stool one, I've tried like
Oh, they're
normal like chairs.
horrible.
And then it's like, actually, I've seen, the tables that rise up and they're like, oh, when you do your prep, do it standing up, and then when you go
Yeah.
to paint, you sit down. I'm like, I would love that, but yeah, it would just be too much.
Yeah,
But yeah, I think we need to find some sort of like perfect chair, perfect seating, the desk.
our postures are rubbish though, aren't they? Because
Mm.
we to enable us to get to our clients, whatever your treatment is, you're not sitting properly or standing properly. Like I was doing a massage yesterday and I was like, yeah, my back was aching, my arms were aching, and my bed's at the right height. I make sure I do all of those things, but actually sometimes it is that repetitive strain stuff, isn't it? And for years we
Oh,
probably have.
I was talking to one of my clients, and she's a lash technician,
Mm,
and she was saying how sometimes she finds she's like crunched over because she'll go, "Can you move up the bed a bit? Can you move up the bed a bit? Can you move up the bed a bit?" Because
yeah,
they're too far away. But they just don't. And I'm like, actually, I've had that. So I've got the armrest
yeah,
to enable the client to rest their arm and
yeah,
give me their hand.
yeah.
And I've got about five, I think, that forever sit so flipping far away, their hands on the armrest. And I'm like, can I have your hand?
I
And I
know.
see stuff all the time where people have done like videos like, this is a no, this is a no. Like, to help
Oh,
me, to stop injuring me, give me your bloody hand so I'm not having to
true.
be in like weird positions, because that could be a part of this. Where I've had clients
Yeah.
where I've had to like, it's like an arm wrestle. So just relax, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Relax your hand, Susan. Jesus Christ. You want your nails
Right?
done? Sit nicely. Give me
Yes,
your bloody hand and let me do
yes.
my job.
Maybe you need to do a video, and maybe actually for any nail techs that are out there or lash techs, maybe this could be like a really good Instagram thing of showing your clients the position you want them to be in, but sort of put that explanation there as to why you
Yeah,
need
like
them.
it hurts, man. Like I've actually
Yeah,
sat here before. I had a client, she's sitting there, she doesn't sit tucked in, so she sits like
I've got a client like
this
that.
away
It's on
and
the
she
side like
looks
this.
like they're so far away. And I'm like, can you come in a little bit? Can you come in a
Yeah.
little bit? And they don't. And it's like, I just think, and then I'm like leaning right in and I'm like, yeah, this is really, really hurting my neck. Or, oh, and then I'm like, oh, hang on, let me just have a little
Yeah.
stretch or whatever, because it's like, this is really
Yeah.
uncomfortable. They don't get the flipping message. And I'm like,
No.
are you fucking blind?
Yeah.
Like,
Do you
can
remember
you
though,
not
like,
clearly see that I'm struggling here? Like,
yeah, I find it really hard because I get a massage once a month and she always does like my hand and my wrists and all that type of stuff. And I find it really hard to try and relax so that she can move me as I want to rather than me sort of fighting back. You know, the way
yeah.
you like that. And I'm like, I don't want to fight back, but I'm trying so hard. But I think one of the things in our industry is most of us are too polite. It is a
Mm.
caring and giving industry, isn't it? So without even realizing, we put ourselves at the back of the pile. Um, like little things like doing toes. I have I don't do it now because I'm a bit too old and my bones just don't work that way. But I used to get down on the floor for my
So did
clients.
I actually back in the day.
Yeah, yeah,
I don't
get
know.
down on the
Do you
floor.
know what? Do you want to see my beautiful chair that I sit on? My
Yeah,
my my clients absolutely laugh. I mean, I've had this since my eldest was probably 2. It's one of them old school chairs, but it means that I can sit down. I can still get up, but it means like
that's
I rest.
brilliant.
Like my room, I do not have enough space to have like a massive pedicure chair.
Yeah,
They literally put their foot on my knee.
yeah,
Um,
mine too.
and like I had 2 pedis yesterday, so I had mani pedis yesterday, and like I'm like I
Yeah.
dropped my brush, like like your
Oh,
dusting brush, and she's like, no, don't get it, I'll get it, and I was like, you.
that's really, really nice. That is so
They're like,
nice.
you are not trying to like get down there. I'm like, but I just think they just accommodate, like, oh, could you actually put it on my left knee instead of my right knee? Because actually that
Yeah,
makes it a bit easier for
yeah.
me to hold on to. And for like me, I feel like it's so much easier when it comes to pedis, because I used to get on the floor and I just think I couldn't get up.
I know.
I'm like I feel like, yeah, we don't look after ourselves enough. Like I have got a
No.
massage booked for next week and I bloody need that. Like
Yes.
whenever I go, Charlotte, my beauty therapist, she literally gives me like, and I come out of there and I'm like, oh my God,
Oh,
this is bloody lovely. Like she gets
jealous.
all of the knots out, and when you get that click, 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 click.
Yeah, love it.
I'm like, oh yeah. So I'm really looking forward to that, because I think I've
Oh,
just trapped or got a tight muscle or
that'll do you the world of good, that will.
mate.
That'll do you the world of good. But yeah, I mean, I used to, you know what, you do stupid things. Like my treatment room's quite big,
Mm,
but I've got a little nook where, like, I suppose the bay, it's a bay window. My nail desk is there. And I took it in. And so if I'm doing clients' feet or anything, I'm sat in the window and they are like lifting their feet up to me, but I'm right squashed in. And what happens to me is I start getting cramp. So like
mm.
I get cramp like my side, and then my stomach. And then I'm like sat throughout my treatment like this, stretching and doing all this stuff. And I realised recently, okay, if you move your chair out, move your table right in, and then actually you can go that way, and I've got loads more room, and I'm fine now. And I don't know why I never thought of it before, but
Yeah, see, I don't do it from here. So if I'm doing someone's feet, so I always sit here doing your nails, but
yeah,
they're obviously sat that side. So I will literally move myself to the side,
good.
and then we just move their chair
Yeah,
around.
yeah,
Um, but then Yeah, that seems to work because yeah, I used to find that I would like they would then move to here and I would do it, and it would
Yeah.
be different. But yeah, after like just moving it around, it's just the faff moving the lamps and stuff.
I
So it's so
know, it
good
is a
that I've got
faff.
some because I've got like three lamps now. Of
Oh, to match your brands.
yeah, so I have got a few different ones. But it's also because like it's always good to have a backup lamp
I
because
agree with
one
that.
day you'll have your lamp and one of your lights will go out because there's
Always.
just a fault or something. And oh, do you know what? Back in the day, back in the
I know.
day,
I feel like
probably
I'm doing that all
about
the time.
I want to say it was about 7, maybe 8 years ago. I remember I was mobile at the time, and it was when we had the UV lamps.
Oh
LED
God,
ones
yeah.
weren't a thing, or
Those
like they weren't
bulbs.
as popular, you know. I think they might
Yeah,
have
yeah,
only
yeah.
just come out. And yeah, I had these UV lamps, and I was doing two ladies, and it was like back to back, and I was doing their thing, and yeah, it literally went, and I was like, oh my God, has that literally like exploded on Earth?
Oh,
Or like it was a reputable brand and everything. It
yeah.
wasn't just like no cheap stuff. And yeah, the bulbs had blown, but it just made such a pop and
Oh
bang. And I
no.
was like, shit, how am I going to finish this set?
Oh no.
Like, oh my God. So I
Oh
had to,
no.
like, luckily, I only live like 10 minutes down the road. So I literally, I trusted the woman. So I literally
Yeah.
just left all my stuff there. I even left my child because I actually took Charlie with me at the time. Or it might have been Reggie actually. So he's there playing with the other kids. And I was like, right, I'll be back. And I went home and I got my spare lamp and I managed to finish the set. But oh my God, like if I didn't have a spare lamp, that's it. I
Yeah.
can't work.
Yeah.
So I
Definitely.
always think it's definitely good to have a spare one. But then I suppose different wattages, different lights and whatever,
I
different
know. It's all the light stuff, isn't it? Like
so
the
confusing. I mean,
waves.
I was talking to someone the other day and it was like learning like there's so many different things that like they've got different coding or different wording
No.
or and you're like it's so confusing.
It's like we
Like
have to be physicists, don't we?
yeah, I'm like, oh, I'm a scientist. So I need to know all of this stuff. And you're
Yeah.
like, right, I'm just going to go with what you tell me. But
That's
then
what I
it's
think.
all contradicting sometimes. So you'll have
Yeah.
one person say this, one person say this, and you're like, well, what's actually the truth nowadays?
Oh, nobody knows. But what I always say to everybody when I'm teaching is your insurance won't insure you if you don't follow your manufacturer's instructions. And if
Mm.
your manufacturer is telling you to use this lamp, then you need to use that lamp. Because if you have a claim come up, and they find out you were using the big star in the sky. I'm not gonna say the word because I'm not gonna name them, but that massive star in the sky that keeps us all warm every day. If you're using that lamp from Amazon
Oh
to
yeah,
keep
yeah.
you, yeah, was that good? Was that a good
That was a
hint
very good
there?
one.
Thank
I was like,
you.
hang on a minute. Oh, yep, yep. I know
The
what
moon.
one you're on about. The moon. No,
Um,
no,
but you know,
the big
and
yellow one.
yeah, the yellow one. I get why people use it because it's much cheaper and you can get it from Amazon and stuff. But if your company is telling you to use this branded now lamp, you got to use it. Because honestly, if your client has a problem and then goes back to you and then sues you, your insurance is going to be like, no, you didn't follow manufacturer's instructions, and your manufacturer's instructions clearly states use this lamp. So I know it's not easy for us all to understand, but basically you've got to protect yourself. That's it. So listen to what your companies are saying, use their lamps. Uh,
I also think like, yeah, the buy cheap, buy twice. You end up
oh,
spending more.
definitely.
Like, honestly, like people don't just make all these new products and new
Yeah,
brands that like they've spent a lot of time. Like the amount of people I speak to and they're like, oh, it's taken me like 2 years to do this, or it's taken
yeah,
me 5 years to do this, or it's taken us this long to do that because they want to get it perfect and make sure that it's safe. Like they've put a lot of time and effort into
yeah,
making these products acceptable, usable, like professional. That's why they're more
100%,
expensive because it's taken so
100%.
long and all of the rest of it. Like, yeah, there's so much scientific stuff, and it gets to the point where I'm like, right, okay, I need to remember because you've got the US version and then you've got the
Yeah.
UK version, and then it's like I get so confuzzled.
And then you do feel as though, is it marketing ploys? That's the other thing. Like this person's slagging off that brand, and this person's saying this doesn't work and that does work. then it's like how much of it is real and how much is marketing. But
Mm.
like I say, I just think for your own safety, go with what your insurance will allow you to go with, and that is the way to do it because at least then you know if ever you have a problem, you've done everything right, haven't you? You've followed
Yeah.
the instructions, you've done everything. Whether you understand the main reasons or not, you just got to go with it and yeah. But I think it was different years ago though, because I know in our salon, I mean, I'm talking years ago when shellac first came out, we used
Mm.
to do biosculpture gel and shellac, and they all cured in the same lamp. It was like they were in the same lamp.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
I
we
think different brands. So you could get like I think there is a few brands that are
there
like,
are a
yeah, as
few.
long as it work, as long as you use this wattage and this style
Yeah,
lamp, then you'll be fine. I think you need to sometimes just test it out because like you don't want to apply
yeah,
it too thick and then it be undercured in the middle. You want to
yeah,
make sure that it's like thinner but still giving you the structure or whatever. If it
yeah,
means you have to put an extra coat on because you've done it thinner, but you've still
yeah,
built your structure. Do it that way.
yeah. I tried. So it was COVID lockdown, so it'd be was it the 5 years? No, it wasn't. It was the 4 years ago. Do you remember we had that January to April lockdown?
Yes.
Yeah, it was that lockdown, and I was using the gel bottle at the time, and I was loving the look of Magpie stuff. And Magpie didn't have their own lamp at that point. I just want to add that. So I bought a couple of things. I was like at home, and I was watching a shed loads of nail art tutorials, which is crazy because I'm not a nail tech, by the way. Just throwing that out there for everybody, but it was a time killer for me. And I was watching all these nail art tutorials, joined all these Facebook groups, etc., etc. And I was using the Magpie stuff with my gel bottle lamp, and it did not cure whatsoever. And it was a real nuisance at the time. So I was like, I think it's really hard for techs now to find a brand that they like because you have to invest in the whole thing, don't you? So like I could never tell whether Magpie was any good because it wouldn't cure for me in the lamp I had. So it was then like, well, what lamp do I buy? And then obviously they then finally brought their own lamp out. So I'm not going to pay 150 quid, 200 quid for your lamp to test whether your products work because and I do think that we've got a bit of an issue now. I think this is
Mm.
a problem. And last year, I don't know if any of you know, but Sammy and I met because we did a course last year. We did something called One to Many, and then we connected that way. We did a
Mastermind. Yeah.
masterclass.
Yeah, so the
Uh,
mastermind came with the like who you signed up with, like your affiliate
yeah,
sort of thing. So yeah, we was in the mastermind and you had like I think you got like 3 months. Was it 3 months included?
yeah, I think so. Yeah, 3 months. Yeah, so we did ours through Joe Tompkins. You'll probably all know her from Now Tech Tribe. And that's how we did it, and that's how we met because you had these master classes, like you had your own private Facebook group. Oh, I've lost where I was going with this. There was a really, oh, I know. No, I don't.
How we met, and where we've gone from like what we did last year to now.
Oh, I know. Yeah. So when we did it, Lisa Johnson, who organises his One to Many, is talking about how you can make money by not just serving one person. So, like for us, we're in a treatment industry, so we have one person at a time, and we're sort of limited. Our income's limited and capped because of the amount of people we can see. The idea of one to many is that you turn that around and you make money on other things. I don't
Like
know
a
how to.
passive income,
Yeah,
basically.
thank you, Sammy. Passive
There you
income.
go.
And we all had to come up with a big idea of what was going to be our like money making thing, wasn't it? Do you know, you don't know this, but my big idea at the time was to offer nail trial stuff to people. So
Okay.
have like a couple of colours, so like base top, red, pink, whatever, and a lamp that people could basically hire off you for a week, for I don't know, 30 quid or something, and like do it as a mail order thing. And that was
Hmm.
my original plan. I was like, I'm gonna do that, and then I was like, but then I'm gonna have to have a shitload of lamps and a shitload of products. Um, but it is a good idea, by the way.
Yeah, that's quite a good idea. But then, yeah, it's a lot. You'd have to have a full-on warehouse.
Yeah,
And then
exactly.
you've got the fact that some people might break it or not give it
Exactly.
back, or
I was
you've
like,
got too many dodgy
shit.
things.
But I do think it's really hard for people like in the industry to try out different products and they end up staying with the same brands for years and years and years because they can't just pick up a couple of colours and test it out.
Oh, you say that though, like, so I get the nail mail
Oh
box
yeah.
every month, right? So every month,
Yeah.
I've literally been with them for 3 years, maybe four
Oh,
years. Yeah, about 4 years now, I think. And I literally get one every single month. I bloody love it because it means that I get to try out new products. Hence why I've ended up with so many more different products because got to be able to try different brands, but also I have different lamps to
yeah.
accommodate. But I think it is a great idea, and I absolutely love it. And
Yeah.
I would encourage any nail technician to join and get, like, even if you just got one box to see how you got on with it. But I think you get a nail art design. Like, I get, look, here's a small selection of them. But
Oh
you
wow.
get different things. So you've got like, oh, hang on. So like, oh, what's this one? So we've got like different designs every
That's really
month.
good.
Like, someone will be like the creator and then they select what's in the box. So like this one you're getting like nail art, pet brushes.
Wow.
So you're getting, so my drawer is full to the brim now, and I literally need to reorganize it all because I've got no room. But it's
That's really cool
purely the
though.
fact that I'm trying out all these new stuff, nail art things, and it's made my life so much easier
Yeah, I bet
just
it
by,
does.
because otherwise you go online and sometimes you're like, I don't actually know what I need, I don't know what I
Yeah.
want, or whatever. But yeah, I just think it's definitely worth it. 100% getting some sort of box.
Yeah. I love a subscription box. That's a really good idea, that one though.
Yeah,
Wonder if there's I wonder if many people know about it because it's a really good.
I think they've got quite a big
They got a
following,
lot.
but I'll share it on my stories and stuff, I think.
Yeah, yeah. I'll share it too because that sounds really good.
Yeah, oh, I think do I have a referral link? I think I might have a referral link.
Excellent. Maybe
I'll
add it
send
into
that.
the comments for this
Yeah,
video.
I will, yeah, because yeah,
Um,
honestly, it's great.
well,
Um,
it's constantly learning as well, isn't it, for you as an nail
oh yeah,
tech?
because so basically you get like a little QR code in the
Yeah.
booklet, and you scan your QR code and it takes you to YouTube, and then there'll be a tutorial on how to do
Oh,
what's on there.
this is good.
Um, and then there'll be like, sometimes you'll get like alternatives. So there'll be like a QR code, but then there's like two options, or there'll be one option or whatever. But they'll do like a bonus one, like, oh, this is this design, but you can then do this. I think yeah, so when I did like the
Oh yeah.
butterflies, I
Nice.
ended up doing that on my own nails, right? So I did one style on this hand, hang on, and one style on this hand.
Oh,
And I ended up being like, they pick every month. So you join like the nail mail challenge
yeah.
and then they pick winners. And then I think I got, the next month was free or discounted, or it was something like, I think it might have been half price or something. I can't
Oh
remember what the price
wow.
was. But it was quite a while ago. It was like last summer, I think.
That's really good
And
though.
I was like, oh
That's really good. So it's motivating, yeah? You're getting new products and you're learning.
yeah,
So it's like,
I think learning new skills every day is brilliant.
yeah, me too. Yeah.
I did I did this one, little ducky
Oh, I
from,
love this guy.
he isn't he the cutest, or she's the cutest.
Is it a she? Is it a
Pretty sure
they?
Ducky's a
Whoever.
girl, I think. Ducky's a girl, and then you've got two girls and two boys. I think they are the little. I can't remember. It's
They're
been so long ago.
gorgeous. It's
But
beautiful.
yeah, I love doing all sorts of stuff like that because I feel like even though I'm not necessarily going to potentially do that on a client, I might one day. But
I
also,
think
it's learning skills to
I
do
think
other
so.
nail art.
Yeah. Yeah. And for me, I don't do any nail art,
Mm.
but the fact that I can do it makes me a tidier. I mean, I'm not an nail tech, but it makes my
A tidy
nails
attack.
neater. Yeah, I'm much, much neater.
Mm.
And if I think back to when I first, I mean, I've done beauty for 25 years and I learnt nails 25 years ago. And then throughout my career, I never really did a lot of nails, to be honest, because I worked in a nail salon. So they were all gel and I was a beauty therapist. So there was no, like, I was allowed to do manicure. No, I wasn't allowed manicures either. I was allowed to do pedicures and that was it, but with nail varnish. Um, and then I've never really needed to do nails because then I've always been busy with beauty. But being a sole trader again, I have to do now. Well, I don't have to, but I enjoy doing it on a couple of clients. It's not part of my advertised like thing, but I'm definitely neater and my standards are higher because of that time during lockdown where I was practicing all that crazy nail art and um so yeah, I think it's good to do those type of things, even if you never use them in salon,
Mm.
because the skills that you're getting are hugely important and improve everything you do anyway. Just practice.
Yeah.
So it's
Well,
good.
it's like going back to like our course. I learned so much last year, and
Yeah,
I think like some people that have done the course have already made thousands. Some
yeah,
people have made zero, but
yeah,
it's all about growing your audience and building awareness, and it's the no like trust factor. You've got to be out there and people will actually trust what you're saying or like you.
yeah.
People, if they don't like you, they're not going to buy from you.
No, they won't.
Like eventually I'll have stuff to sell, but at the minute I just think, just give it to them for free. People are like,
Yeah,
why are you giving that away for free? It's so good. And I'm like, because I think if I can give that away for free, then that will then build more of a trust. And then they'll be like, oh my God, we got that for free, but actually she's going to be selling this and it's X
yeah.
amount of pounds. And I feel like it takes time.
It does take time.
I mean, yeah,
It does
I
take
think
time.
I'm just too nice sometimes. I'm too generous.
You are, but I think it's our nature. I really do. I think it's really hard to be business. Oh, Sammy, this is terrible. Okay, so Sammy knows this. I have been very, very bad this year, and I'm just doing my tax return now. It's the middle of January. Now, everybody who knows me in real life knows that this is not me. My tax return gets done in May on the computer, and then I submit it in November and pay it, right? This is the way I'd work. I really don't think I've ever been this late doing a tax return. Um, and I'm just disgusted at myself. Anyway, so I mean, I've had to really go back to April 2023. Like, I've had to write it all in. I've really had to go back to the basics, like every single client. And do you know what I've done? And I can't believe this. Um, I I upped my prices a couple of years ago. This is really embarrassing, and I'm just letting you all know I am sharing my soul here. I upped the prices 2 years ago, as I normally do. And I'm going back through and I'm typing in so and so's name, £40, so and so, £38, whatever I'm putting through, like whatever it comes up as in my bank, my card machine thing. And I'm noticing that so and so was paying £40 2 years ago, and so is now paying £38 now. So somehow, and I do put my hands up here, perimenopause messes your brain up, right? But somehow I've had my prices here. I've somehow dropped my prices, even though I have a twice a year price increase. So my clients now are paying less now than they were 2 years ago.
How
What the
has
hell have
that
I done?
happened? How have you done that?
I don't know, Sammy. I was saying it to the nail tech I work with yesterday. I was like, I don't know how I've done this. So, like,
Is it on your
somebody.
system? Is it your system though that's
Well, I
done it?
think this is what's happened because I use a booking system and I reckon that I've changed my prices in the midst of being a little bit bonkers and crazy perimenopause. And then the next time I've seen that client, because I've done it for a few months, it's been about like 4 months or so that the price is this, this, and this. And then suddenly the old price has crept in. And I think all I've done is tried, I reckon I've forgotten what their price is, checked on my booking system, and that said the old price. So I've then started charging them the old price again. So
Oh,
I'm
see,
not,
that's where I like my booking system because I check out through my booking system.
do you? I need to
Yeah,
do that
so it's
really.
like I go in and I check out and it tells me exactly how much it is. It's got like it has a section that if you want to do your price increase, that
Yeah.
you can increase. Like say I go right, okay, in I don't know April, I want to up it by 10% or whatever, or well that's extreme, but
Yeah.
you know what I mean. Like in the
Yeah.
sense that I'm going to up it by £2.
Yeah.
Right, I'll go in, I'll go through what I want, blah, 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 every service, change the price for that £2 or whatever it is,
Yeah.
and then it will automatically then change it from a certain date. So anyone that books up to that point, it'll be the old price.
Yeah.
Anyone that books after that point with the new prices, it will
Yeah,
be booked in as that. But then they'll get a notification to be like, oh, just to let you know, there's going to be a price increase on
that's
the,
good.
so then it's notifying your customers, but it's at the same time, it's made my life so much easier. So I've not had
Yeah.
to worry about that.
I
But
can't
no,
believe
my accountant is bloody lovely, and he did it all in August.
Oh, see, Sammy, you are sat smug, and that is how I'm normally. I'm normally smug
It's
and
all paid for, mate. It's done, dusted,
brilliant.
gone.
I mean, I've been telling everybody, you'd have heard me in my
Make
group.
sure that you do your tax
Yeah,
return.
if
And
you're
there
in
you
my
are, like,
group, you'll have heard me banging on about this. But you know what? It really shows. It goes to show, like, I'm not stressed because I know I've got the time to do it, right? So that's cool. I was
oh,
just
I'll give
got,
you a thumbs up again.
it must
It's
be
when I put my arm, it's when I hold my arm. It did it the other
me.
day. I'm like,
Um,
oh, it's so sore.
I'm not stressed out about it. But if I'd have done my tax back in May like I normally would, I would have seen that I've been undercharging.
Yeah.
I would have then like been able to pick it up. But like when I've been putting my prices up then, I'm like putting it up by 50p or something. And I'm like, what? I'd already put it up by this much and everyone was paying it. So what the hell have I done? So
Mm.
yeah, I'm like, anyway, my point of this was to say, in our industry, most of us aren't natural business people. We often are a little bit more kinder and like giving things away for free. So, oh God. So I
And
need
then
to
and then you
rectify
look
that.
back and you're like, why did I only charge them that when I should have been charging them that? Or
Honestly, Sammy.
then it's when you like you get kind of sucked in to say you've done a price increase and you've had a client for, I don't know, 3, 4 years or whatever, and they're a little bit like you don't want to lose them as a client. So you go, do you know what? I'll charge you this, but I'll let you have your nail art for a few months
Yeah.
or whatever, just to wean you back in. So you're not
Yeah.
then paying even more. And then it gets to the point where they don't pay it. And then you'll do like, I don't know, a special offer.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, did I get the 10% off that you had on? And I'm like, no, because you get free nail art at the minute because you're not paying as much as everybody else or something. It's
Yeah.
that's just an example, but it's
No, it's a
like
good
it's a fact of you'll get to the point where you have to remind them, like, by the
one.
way, don't forget that you're actually paying less than most people because of the fact that you're doing this or whatever, because you did it as a goodwill gesture and it was
Yeah.
supposed to be just for the transition. I'll put your price up, but then you'll get something in return, but you will be paying the full amount at XYZ. But it's when you then forget that you were going to put their price when you put their
Yeah.
prices back up, and you're just like, oh my God. Because
Yeah.
I did that years ago. I literally did it and I did a goodwill thing. And then it got to the point where they then like they never then paid you the extra, and you're
Yeah.
like, but everyone else has got to pay. Can you pay, please? Or
Yes.
like the
Be
chasing
tricky.
people for money. Like I hate it. I see it all the time where people are like, oh girls, don't forget to pay me. I've just checked the bank and you've not done a transfer or whatever. And I'm like, this is why you have a card reader. Yes, you have to pay fees, but you
Oh,
know
I
what?
love this.
I just think it's less than a quid most of the time.
Yeah.
You're paying sometimes 50p. Just suck up the 50p for God's
Oh,
sake.
Sammy. I'm so
Like,
glad you brought that up.
honestly, like I say, oh, I
Right.
don't want a card reader. Why would you not want a card reader when it makes your life so much easier? You can go, right, there you go, Apple Pay,
Yeah.
whatever, whether they do bank
Easy.
like phone tap,
Yeah.
whatever they're paying with. Like I've got clients who pay me with their credit card,
Yeah.
not because they don't have the money, but they use it for their reward points.
Yeah.
So they'll go and their monthly spend, they will spend it all on their rewards credit card, and then at the end of the month they pay it all off,
Yeah.
right? Just so that they can get their air miles, basically. So I'm like, if I didn't have that
Yeah.
option, they wouldn't be able to get their air mile
I
points
agree.
from using my card reader.
Yeah,
And
I
it's
agree.
security as well, because then you know exactly that you've been paid.
Yeah. I would not be without a card reader. And I've seen loads of people doing that, like, oh, it costs this much. It's like, well, that needs to be in your prices then. Like it needs to reflect your prices. Like my prices normally include things like my card reader. Like if I were to offer tea and coffee and stuff, it's nothing's free, is it? It's all included in your price. If you have magazines in your salon, it's included in the price. You work it all out, or you should be working it all out and covering those fees with it. Like I've got a booking system, Sammy's got a booking system. It's not free. but we make sure that is covered in our prices. Every time we do a price increase, it includes those things. So to me, I wouldn't be without a card machine.
No.
And and actually, here's a story for you. Like, I don't care how people do their taxes and whether people put their cash away or whether they don't declare it. It's not my issue. I'm not bothered, right? I know how I do it and I'm happy with that. So it's not a criticism of people who keep their cash. But I met a lady a few years ago, who told me she was doing my waxing and she told me that she was broke all the time. And but then she also told me she was fully booked all the time. She did 40 hours a week and she was only waxing. Now, my treatment with her was £65 for 30 minutes, right? She works 40 hours a week, £65 for half hour, right? So you're looking at £100 an hour. That's a shitload of money every week. She's telling me she's broke. And you know why she's broke? She's cash only. Being cash only means that you don't see your money get spent. You don't see it. Like, at least if it goes into your account, I know how much money is in my account. And I know what I can afford to spend, and I know I can afford to pay myself, and I know I can afford my bills. But if I was cash only, I guarantee, like, years ago I was cash only because you couldn't have card machines like as a sole trade
Well,
back
it
then.
wasn't a thing then, was it?
No, it was cash or check. And I remember one year doing my tax return and being like, oh my God, my turnover was that high. It didn't feel like it was that high.
Yeah,
It
you go,
really,
oh my God, I've actually earned like 20 grand this year. Where
yeah,
is that 20 grand? Because
seriously, Sami.
you don't know it. Whereas like that's what I like about my system is it literally has all my reports. It tells you what's been your most popular service, how
Uh,
much you've earned, how many clients you've done, how many hours you've actually worked,
yeah,
like all of them sort of things. And I was talking to a lady the other day and she was saying like she's self-employed, she does lashes, da, 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 da. And she was like, I don't have a booking system. She does a lot of cash only stuff, or
no,
like she doesn't have a card reader, she's literally bank transfer or cash. And
no,
she was saying, I lose track all the time.
yeah,
She was like, I sometimes think to myself, like, I've got this person, this person, this person that she's put in a little paper diary, but she can't work out sometimes how much money that she's actually going to make that week. Whereas my system will go, oh, this week you've got, I don't know, 18 clients and you're going to be earning this much money.
yeah,
It will tell you,
yeah,
so
so
you
easy.
kind of like can see if like where you are.
Yeah,
If you don't have any of that, how are you going to keep track of everything? It makes your life so much easier when it comes to like
it does.
doing your books
Yeah,
because you've got it there and then you go, right, this is what my system tells me I've earned. This is what my bank says. This is what, and this is what the card reader says or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Makes your life so much easier and less
It does.
stressful.
It does, absolutely. So, card machines, do it. Don't get rid of your card machines because of the cost of it, honestly. And
There
also,
is so many out there now that you've got
they're
options. I
cheaper,
mean, I
aren't
use
they?
Stripe and I'm very happy with Stripe.
Yeah,
I've not had any issues. I
I'm
used to
some
use some up.
I use some up still.
See, I
Okay.
only got rid of my sum up purely for the fact that it literally lives in my drawer. I get it out, I use it to pay. I had this machine for years, right? And one day it just come up with error, contact support with a code, right? And I was like, well, I can't use it, can't take payments, can't do anything, right? So I've contacted them. Yeah, it's out of warranty, you're gonna have to buy a new one.
No way.
So I was like, okay, you're not having any of my money then. So
Yeah,
I
I don't
literally
blame
moved
you.
over because I was like, well, I've never ever complained about anything.
No,
I've been paying you for years.
that's
I
terrible.
literally the machine's just come up with like contact customer support error. It's never got dropped, nothing, right? It was in pristine condition, and yet they were like, yeah, you just have to buy a new one. So I was like, what? So you on the system has obviously gone, oh, we've not had any issues with this one. Let's cancel her
Yeah,
machine. So,
yeah.
but then I've had nothing, no problems with my Stripe. They've been
Good.
brilliant.
Oh, it's a joke, isn't it, when they do that? That's not on. That is
No,
not.
but yeah,
We're gonna have to wrap it up, aren't we?
yeah, because we've both got to go work, and you've got to go and do your tax return.
I gotta do my tax return. I'll let you know next week what goes on with the rest of my tax return.
Yeah, and you'll be like, yeah, I completed it, done it.
Yeah. And then I'm going to crack on with the next year's one straight away. I'm going to just
Yes,
get back into
do
it.
you know what though? I did think the other day I was going to go through and start putting bits together for my
Yeah,
accountant
24, 25.
because yeah, so then come April, I'll be like, here you go, mate.
Yeah,
Ta-da!
definitely.
Do it at your
Definitely.
own, do it when you're ready. But there's all
Oh,
the info.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, if any of you watching actually are having problems with your tax returns, this will be too late to get this, but for next year, there's the Beauty Boss accountant. She's in my group, the Beauty Success Squad. She's really, really lovely, and she is a beauty accountant as well. So she will let you know how much you need to put through for things like your towels and homework and stuff like that. She knows our industry, so she's definitely someone like that is worth having if you need an accountant as well. So little plug there for you.
Yeah, to be fair, my one, the only reason why mine's so good is because his missus is a nail tech. So
It really
he
helps.
literally knows all of the ins
It
and
really
outs. And
helps.
he's like, yeah, Sammy, you do know that you can claim for the, oh, okay.
Perfect. It covers the cost straight away, doesn't it? Because they make sure that you're like getting the best out of your tax. So
Yeah.
well worth it.
Especially if you've like sort of just little things like, yeah, you're saying like towels and like stuff that you use every day, whether it be
Yeah.
your phone contract, because your
Yeah.
phone, there's a percentage of certain things that you can
Yeah.
claim for, which a
Yeah.
normal average Joe won't know.
Not at all.
So get yourself a decent accountant.
Yeah,
There you go.
definitely everybody.
Makes your life a lot easier. But anyway, have a lovely rest of your week.
Yeah,
Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And yeah, I like this. I feel like this was a good one, just
it
having a
was
ramble.
fun. It was just nice having a chat. So, drop us any messages as well, any comments or personal messages if you want us to talk about anything in particular. Otherwise, we will be rogue. I
Yeah, because I just like chatting sometimes, just to have a little catch
know.
up. This is what's been going on.
This is the thing, sole traders get lonely, so it's nice to
Yeah,
have a
we do.
natter.
It's like our little
Oh,
coffee morning.
yeah, it is. It's lovely. I love it. All right, everyone. See you all next week.
All right, be good.
Bye.